And what comes to my mind is that if we consider, the statistics concerning lottery winners, okay, so these are people who receive millions of dollars, but yet, as Brooke spoke well to, the mindset to manage the millions are not there. And so the stats are staggering, right, that most of the people that do come into the millions, they end up right back in the same situation prior to receiving, this luck, if you will. And so it's so powerful. I'm just really, really excited because, again, this platform is Millionaires in Training, and I share with Tammy all the time on her show, because I said it's so important what you're doing, because you're helping not just to help people get to, the $1 million, figures and all that stuff, but the mentality of one who can maintain and steward, right, the gifts and the talents and the things that are necessary for these millions to be utilized, to be left in, you can't take it with you, right? So how are you going to utilize this money, which answers all things? How are you going to leave an impression in the earth after you're gone? So thank you for sharing that. And I do have a question. Brooke, you have sparked, and I really believe this, you have sparked a global sales revolution, and you have modern strategies that work. So can you share with us today some keys that will successfully increase sales in today's marketplace? Just share with us some of your keys, some nuggets. I know they're going to be more like I always say, like the gold rush, but if you can share with us some of those keys today, I know we will be blessed.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so I always have my 3 go-to techniques that if somebody comes up to me and they say, what can help me increase sales now? So the first one is always going to be investing in yourself. When you decide to invest in yourself, then you're showing up for yourself. You're letting yourself know that you're putting you as a priority. And with every career, with every different entrepreneur, you have to master what it is that you're good at. And it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen after one training. So you need to pour into yourself every single day. So I ask people, I say, what professional training have you done? And they say, oh, I haven't done anything. Do you think you're going to get where you need to go by not having any of the greats already teach you something so they can start instilling that knowledge within you? And I understand that some people are blessed with a gift, but you still have to nurture this gift. You still have to kind of buffer it. So I ask them to check in on that personal training or the professional training. For salespeople, I say, how many sales books have you read? You'd be surprised how many salespeople have never picked up a sales book. And there's so many good techniques inside of sales books that are available in libraries. You don't even have to buy them. And now you can listen to Audible if you want to. So I would say read 2 to 3 books per month, and then get a mentor, of course. Have somebody that's already been successful in your industry teach you or guide you to where you need to go and give you that wisdom that you need. So definitely investing in yourself is always my number one. You have to do this. And then second would be back to mindset. You need to master your mindset. You have to just have this mindset of determination and consistency. You need to be unstoppable, period. And you need to be able to consistently achieve your goals and walk and talk your vision. So in my sales program, I have people automatically start with building their foundation. They have to build a professional vision for their career, because if they're not clear on where they need to go and exactly what they want to do and the outcome they want to achieve, they're not going to really achieve their goals. Their goals are not going to be aligned with exactly what they want to do. So we start off with focusing on mindset first and building those successful habits. And then for all my sales professionals, the last thing, you have to understand that sales is not about you. It's all about your clients. Salespeople talk way too much. I don't know why they talk so much instead of listening. If you listen to your clients, they will give you every single detail without you having to ask. All you need to do is listen, form questions. As they're listening, form closing questions, because they're telling you everything you need to hear. If you just listen, you'd be surprised at asking your client one question about what they want and what their expectations are. They will lay it all on the table. And people miss this. So my top 3, invest in yourself, master your mindset, and understand that sales is all about listening to your client.
I love that. I always tell people, and Tammy and I talk about this at great length, that it's important to pour into yourself. When we take flights, right, and we hear the stewardess say, hey, in case of an emergency, to place the apparatus on your mouth first to breathe, then you help someone else. And so, culturally, sometimes even as women, we're taught to do the opposite. So I love that that concept is so key. And I know Tammy agrees with me. It's so important. I love it. Make the first investment in you.
Exactly.
Yes, because we are supposed to be number one in our own life. Mm-hmm. And when you make that investment in you, you putting you first. And when you put you first, you can help other people better because you're putting yourself first. And so you have to invest in yourself. And what you mentioned about the mindset is the sum of his or her knowledge and thoughts about what this world is about and your beliefs are about. And so you actually showing us to find our voice in this, and that even sometimes we tend to internalize the voice. And it's very, very important. I go back to avoid the self-negative talk or the fear factor, because fear immobilizes us. Fear paralyzes us. And sometimes people have a problem launching out because of fear. And even with you shattered the status quo by stepping out into your calling. Yes, and that's actually what you have done. You did not procrastinate. You got out of your comfort zone, and you applied these techniques to your own life. And you surrounded yourself around people to match your desired type of way of thinking or mindset. And that's very, very key, because a person has to protect his or her mindset. You have to get educated. I tell people you have to read. You have to learn about other cultures. And that's absolutely what you have done. And first thing is the mindset. Because even when some people are going through situations in life, they go through a situation, but sometimes it's the aftermath of the situation. And then they're holding on to those things years later, instead of putting themselves first and say, look, I'm going to take care of myself, and I'm going to invest in myself, and I'm going to live the quality of life that I so rightfully deserve, and then you'll be able to take the center stage. And you'll be ready for it. You have to create your signature brand. And that's what you're showing us. This is a very liberating message for so many feel like they're being disenfranchised by situations of life. But you're showing us that in our actions and even in our inactions. And here's something that Dr. Martin Luther King once said. He said, our legacy should be for the compelling necessity of embracing the fierce urgency of now. For there is no substitute for action. We have to be action-oriented. We have to be proactive. And we have to take those steps. But so many people feel like they're beset with a constellation of inhospitable thoughts. But once you get your thoughts in line and think of the positive things, even when it looks like it's not working out, things will start unfolding in your life. So we appreciate what you're sharing is truly inspirational and motivational extreme. And Brooke, you were able to work with celebrities and large corporations while traveling internationally to over 57 countries and living in big cities across the U.S. You have generated millions of dollars in sales as an art gallery director, hospitality sales specialist, director of sales in medical and beauty industries. And I'm aware that you're a committed-minded, professional, performance-driven, extremely energetic woman, producing your own unique work, and you have such a compelling vision. What is your compelling vision of how to develop leadership strategies?
I love this question because when I decided that I wanted more for myself and that I wanted to be a leader and I wanted to have my own business, I really had to change everything around me. I needed to pretty much cut everything off that was happening in my life at the time because it didn't align with where I could see myself in the next year or 2 years after that. So first thing I would say, when you want to develop leadership strategies, surround yourself with leaders. Change your surroundings. You know the saying, if you're the smartest person in the room, then you need to leave the room and go to another room. Pretty much that's exactly how it should be. You need to change your group, and that was one of the first things that I did. I looked at the people around me, and I said, I don't want to be this person anymore. I don't want to be the person partying until 3 o'clock in the morning. There's so much more to life, and I want to leave a legacy. I want to do more. So I changed the people that I was around, and I started spending time with leaders in my industry that I was working with, and I started networking events and socializing in a different way. And then I would also study the leaders that are appealing to you. For example, like I love Oprah, and I always watch her videos and listen to her motivational talks and how she kind of defied all odds. And people were knocking her down all the time. So really study the people that you admire and look up to, and read books on them and read books on leadership and understanding what made these people successful. And again, you have to be fully enthralled in self-development. And it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. I mean, you could be developing, first of all, you're developing yourself for your entire life, I feel like, because you're always going through different phases. But people think that you're just gonna change overnight, and it doesn't happen. So start at square one and start with affirmations, saying, I am a leader. I'm going to lead my business. I'm going to have employees. Start by small like that, and then work your way up. But definitely just surround yourself with a great group of leaders. Study your leaders. Really get into self-development and get clear on what you want out of life.
That's truly profound. I believe that we're having some technical difficulties. I want to make sure that we get a clear reception. If any volume is a little bit too high or any headphone sets, we just want to make sure that it's coming in clear. Sometimes the headsets or the volume may be a little bit up, and we want to make sure we don't have that kickback on the show. Okay, that is much, much better. Thank you, listening audience. We appreciate you tuning in. This is such profound information and words of wisdom that Brooke is sharing with the listening audience today. And Brooke, when it comes down to leadership strategies and what you mentioned, I love what Jim Rohn said. He said, to have more than you got, you have to become more than you are. That success is something you attract by being an attractive person. And we have to lead with objectives in mind. And when you have these objectives in mind, it tends to boost productivity. And sometimes you have to start conversations. You have to collaborate with like-minded people. And this will tend to help open up business ventures as well. And I tell people all the time, small businesses, they're the backbone of the American economy. Sometimes you can start a small business for under $100. Under $100. And so what you actually are sharing with us is ways that people in sales can create and generate that revenue in their business. and showing us even more